right, this is Real Talk Baseball and Cuddles Baseball. With me, as always, is Ernie Orange. It's a Sunday afternoon. Baseball is done. We get to talk about everything that happened in the week. There's been a lot of fights. There's been a lot of things going on in baseball. We didn't even get on last week. So, how you been, Ernie? Yeah,
Well, we went on a little mini summer vacation. It was definitely great to be back talking baseball with you guys. We're totally excited. There's a lot of exciting baseball news coming up. We have the All-Star game as well. Trade deadline coming up. There's a lot of exciting news coming for baseball in the upcoming month of July. We're all here to talk about it here in Real Talk Baseball.
Definitely. But let's go over our stuff that we're going to go over. We're going to talk about Kershaw, of course, is the main, topic, since we do have the picture of him, and we'll talk a little bit about him. Ketel Marte, dude. I don't know if you've seen the video. I don't know if you saw what's going on with him, but there's been a lot of exposure with fans and players, and we'll talk about that, of course. O'Neal Cruz, yeah, that's another topic about him not hustling. I feel like there's a lot of games, and I just feel like maybe they need to cut some games and give the reason to Cruz, but we'll see. And then tensions between teams. There's been a lot of teams fighting, going at it. There was one today that I didn't know of, but Ernie, you can tell us a little bit about it when we get to that topic. And then, of course, the All-Star ballots. I mean, we kind of don't agree with some of them. Ernie agrees and disagrees. I disagree. We'll go over all that stuff. But before we get started on our show, Dave Parker passed away Saturday. He passed away a month before him going into the Hall of Fame, or introduced into the Hall of Fame. From what I heard, he had complications with Parkinson's disease. Kind of sad. It sucks, man. It kind of hit home a little bit because my dad has Parkinson's. So knowing that he had complications with Parkinson's is kind of sad. He was an MVP in 1978, 7 All-Stars, and he was a 3-time Silver Slugger. So, I mean, Dave Parker was a great dude, a great person, and he was talking about Parkinson's disease as he was getting older, and he was, trying to get money to, give to the doctors and to the, the research for all that, because there's not a lot out there. But yeah, dude, we heard it at work, right?
Right, that is true. Dave Parker, unfortunately passed away earlier this weekend. What a true gentleman of the game of baseball. I just watched a lot of his highlights over the weekend, and man, I was truly impressed of what kind of player he was. He was a 5-tool player. He was 6'6", over 250-pound guy. He was big in the plate. He had the speed. He had the arm, and he had it all in this game. But you know what's the saddest part, man? He had to overcome a lot when he was playing for the Pirates. He has a great story. He had to replace Roberto Clemente after that 72 season of his passing. He was the next guy up in right field. He took over the job. He gave a lot of Pirate success thanks to him with Willie Stargell, and they did great things for that organization in Pittsburgh because they did win 1979 World Series. And if you talk about to any Pirates fan, I'm not sure if there was any chance these days they would win, right? And yeah. Dave Parker brought that spark to Pittsburgh, and they won there. And then, like you said, he was a 78 MVP. He did have a little bit of issues with weight and, drug use, and that kind of had a little fallback in his career, but he bounced right back. And that always shows you that type of guy he was. He persevered. He was determined to come back to the game of baseball and was able to win another World Series with the Oakland A's in 1989. So just a quick breakdown of him. It was a great story. Sad to see that he's going to be a Hall of Famer next month, and he didn't get to be honored in being present there. So, at the end of the day, we appreciate his game and everything he did for the MLB, and we thank Dave Parker for what he brought to the game of baseball.
Definitely. Hey, you said drug use. Maybe Doc Ellis had something to do with, with all that drug use too. Because I don't know if you guys know who Doc Ellis is, but he took LSD and threw a no-hitter with the Pirates. So
that is true. I mean, it was a time in an era where people were just chewing tobacco. It was, even in the NBA, there was talks about players smoking weed before games.
Yeah.
It was before all this stuff got regulated and we had all these media presence and coverage. And obviously these players just wanted to play ball and be in a good mood. And it talks about the times, how much has changed since then. But Dave Parker, overall Hall of Famer, deserves to be honored for the MLB. And unfortunately, he passed away over the weekend. But he's definitely one of the greats in that Pirates uniform.
Definitely. Let's move on, man. Rest in peace, Dave Parker. All right, Kershaw. Is Kershaw the last to ever hit that 3 dozen mark? And I'm going to go and hopefully get to experience that. He's 3 strikeouts away from achieving that goal. It's just I can't stress how important this is. Like I said, we don't know if there's going to be any other pitcher that's ever going to reach that goal. I mean, are you excited to see that as a baseball fan?
Yeah, it's much watched TV. You're talking about Clayton Kershaw, a guy that's been in the league for over 18 seasons. A lot of Dodger fans have given him crap for his performances in the playoffs, but screw that. That guy was the reason why the Dodgers were in the playoff mix every year in and year out. People forget that the Dodgers team wasn't built like it is today. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
Kershaw was handling business. He was
yeah,
going there pitching 8 innings, not getting enough run support. He was balling out, and unfortunately, he would take a lot of L's. But there is a lot of talk about his playoff performance. Man, this is an amazing accomplishment to see with Kershaw. 3,000 strikeouts is not easy. I mean, this window's closing, Carlos. We don't have a pitcher that's nearby. The closest one is 2,400. If I'm not mistaken, it's Chris Sale. He's already age 36.
yeah.
Garrett Cole's also in the 2000s, and he's also age 34. This window is getting really tight, and I don't see it happening ever again, at least in the next couple decades. I mean,
True,
Paul
true.
Skeens is a guy that's talked about the most these days, and he has obviously a great talent, a great arm, and he could potentially get it. But now we're asking ourselves, could he stay healthy for the longevity of his career? Because looking at the way these arms are coming out, they're just flying out, and they're getting hurt every year in and out. So, man, this is
Yeah.
beautiful to see. I'm excited that you're going to witness this in person. It's definitely going to happen. Kershaw is the best lefty pitcher we have in this game. He's definitely top 5 all around. That 12-6 curveball is amazing. Nobody has a chance.
True. Hey, I don't hate on Kershaw. What the hell you guys keep putting that? Like, if I ever hear anything about Kershaw, it's you guys. I always try to, and I'm talking about Snap. He's over here putting that I hate on him. I never hate on him. His playoff performance have even been the worst. And I've always been like positive about, oh, he'll come back the next inning, even though he doesn't. And I still like have love for the guy. Like I don't hate on him. And of course, dude, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna experience this. I don't see any other pitchers going and making 3,000. Like you said, Paul Skeens, maybe he will. Maybe he'll get up in that mix to try to get those 3,000. But the way that pitching's going with Tommy John, soldier surgeries, all these things that are happening by throwing 100 miles per hour,
The pitch
it's kind
count.
of pitch count. It's just it started with 100 pitches. Now it's looking like a lot of pitchers are going 80, 90 pitches. Maybe in the next 5 years it's going to go down to 85, 70. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the game is going to bring us in the future, but I do feel like this is probably it. This is the last chance we're going to get to see a 3,000 strikeout pitcher. And the last time someone did it, it was 2019. So
Yeah.
this is crazy, dude. I just feel like we have to take advantage of these little things, and when we get a chance to see it, why not go to the stadium and witness it with your eyes, not try to record it. I don't know if I'll record it, because once you're in the moment, you're like, damn, is it gonna happen? I was there,
Yeah, I think, the way we all carry phones these days, I think you just have to record it. It's a special moment, Carlos, that your phone has access to record. You have to take advantage of that moment.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's a special season for him. This may be the last season of his career. He's put his hard work to try to come back and help the Dodgers, because they're having a lot of pitching woes this year again. And Kershaw somehow has been managed to pitch okay, at least, getting his 5 innings there, helping the Dodgers bullpen just as much as he can. But this is a guy that did win 70% of his starts.
yeah,
Yes, his playoff record is not the best. He's 13-13. But I mean, you're talking about he faced the top teams when he was in the playoffs. He
yeah.
faced those nasty, Cardinal teams for a lot of years, and they just took advantage of him. But when that regular season was on, man, this guy was unstoppable. That 12-6 curveball was the best in the game. And unfortunately, I feel like they would wear him out, man. They used him too much during the regular season. That playoffs came around, he was burned out. But I'm happy for Kershaw. He has 2 rings, and everybody could talk crap about his playoff performances. But at the end of the day, he is a World Series champion, future Hall of Famer, and is going to go down as one of the best lefty pitchers in this game. Because you could say Sandy Koufax, but Sandy Koufax did not play that long like Kershaw did. So,
That's
and if
true.
you ask Sandy Koufax, I bet he would agree with me that Kershaw's still better than him statistics wise.
That's true. That's true. There's no denying that. I just feel like maybe witnessing that will kind of be like, okay, it's one of the few things I feel like it's not going to be where people are going to see that in the future. And hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully there's pitchers out there that do reach that 3,000, because this is a milestone that only a few 19 pitchers, he will be the 20th. I wanted to ask you, do you think they're going to stop the game to congratulate him on that 3,000 strikeout, or is it just going to continue, like
No,
normal?
no, they definitely have to. It's a special moment in the game of baseball. Like we just mentioned, this is possibly the last time we see a 3,000 K pitcher in the near future. And you have a special moment like this. MLB has to recognize it and be available and ready to give a memorial for him for that 3,000. It's just special like that, Carlos.
Yeah.
It's going to happen again.
True. It better, man. I hope they do stop it. You know what? I have always wanted to see. I've always wanted to see a player come out and speak in front of the stadium. You know how Mickey Mantle came out? Was it Mickey Mantle that came out and talked? And this is the greatest, day of whatever. And I just feel like those moments are not given to us that much anymore. Like I feel like when players talk and they're about to retire or they hit a milestone like Kershaw's about to do, I think when they put the mic and they let them speak, I feel like sometimes when you hear that emotion,
Yeah, for sure.
it's pretty cool, right? Would
I
that
just wanna
happen
correct
though?
I want to correct you. I think it was Joe DiMaggio, right?
Joe
I think
DiMaggio, Joe
Joe
DiMaggio,
DiMaggio was
yeah,
the guy that did
yeah,
speak with crowds.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a special moment. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, all the fans that are going to be there are there for the Kershaw 3,000 strikeout. Give the
yeah,
fans 5 minutes of Kershaw thanking the fans for being there and supporting him all this time. It's been 18 seasons. It's a special moment. I mean, I think all as fans, MLB fans, we could appreciate 5 minutes of him, a quick speech, stop the game. This is what the MLB needs to do. And
yeah.
unfortunately, they don't do it enough. And this is a way we could honor the player for all the great success he's had in this game.
True, true. Well, let's move on, man. Let's talk about Ketel Marte, dude. What happened with him? Yeah. I mean, he was out in the field and some fans started talking and the story's already out that there was a fan said that he was gonna text his mother. Of course, his mom passed away in 2017. And of course that brought back that memory. And I mean, jokes are okay to have against a player, but I think when you start bringing personal stuff up like that, it's just a different, vibe. I think. I don't know. He did started crying out in the mound when the pitchers, when they were about to go get the pitcher out so he can bring one in from the bullpen, and that sucked, dude. Like, did you see the whole video?
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. Ketel Marte definitely took it personal. It hit home for him. When his mom did pass away, he was in Chicago. So it brought back memories that he definitely did not want to remember and then be part of a game. And this fan is heckling the heck out of you and he brings something personal. Like he came out in an interview later and he did mention that he'd been heckled his whole life, just like any MLB player. But this one came close to home, and you could say all you want. The fan probably didn't know his mother had passed away, but this just tells you how MLB fans have to do better.
Yeah,
Time and time again, we're seeing these MLB fans intervening in the game of baseball. They keep causing chaos and they don't get they don't get nothing. Nothing happens to them. And this is the first time where I think MLB stood up and said, you know what? We're not going to allow this to happen anymore. This
true.
guy's going to be banned for all 30 MLB stadiums. And we're going to prove a point here that going forward, you start talking about any other personal life like that, we're going to cut you out of the stadium and MLB all along, because this is not what we need in the game of baseball.
That's true. And there was other players that started saying that the fans started getting on him. You talk about Jaron Duran when he was out in there was a lot of crap talked to him last year, this year, and all had to do with the Netflix series, right? Where everybody knew that he had suicidal tendencies and all those things, and he overcame it. He came back to play baseball. So those type of shows, and I think I've said this before, those type of shows are not given to us because people take advantage of heckling these players out in the field. And if we want to keep seeing these type of series, we need to kind of chill back there. They're baseball players, are human like us, man. It doesn't matter if it's a rival, if you hate the dude. If a player's not getting hate on, he's not that good, right? If he's
Right.
getting hate on, he's really good. But respect the player, respect the field. If you've ever played the game, you could respect the game, like just like a lot of people do. But I just feel like there's a lot of other ones that happened, and I'm trying to bring it up here. But there was one of the players, I believe it was from the Kansas City Royals. His wife was getting death threats, and she saved the text, and she just posted it up on it's not Twitter, and on X, and
Right.
she said, "I'm not complaining about this. I'm just letting it been known so people can see. Like he's not the only one getting heckled. There's families getting involved, and this is just getting too out of hand, dude. This is just crazy.
It definitely is. I mean, we had the Lance McCullers situation in Houston when he came back from injury, and he also got death threats. We have Dennis Santana, a Pirates player recently that just came up to the major leagues recently. He swung at a fan in the bullpen area. I mean, he got suspended 4 games. He served a suspension, but looking back, like these fans just continue to prove time and time again that they're just acting terrible in the stadiums. They need to alcohol is the main source of entertainment for these fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you either have to, they already stopped selling alcohol after the 7th inning. So I don't know, man. These fans are just at another level these days. They're frustrated. They're mad. They just want to fight. And unfortunately, I mean, you put them in front of an MLB player, I'll bet they'll stay quiet. You know what I mean? They wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't dare to speak up. But
True.
obviously behind a computer, they feel more, they could talk back and they're not scared. So it sucks because this is messing up with the game of baseball. And these players deserve respect. They're here to entertain us. They bring the best talent for us in the game of baseball, and we should support them for as much as we can, even though they have a terrible outing. I mean, it happens.
It does
Put
happen.
me in the mound, and I'll probably give up 10 runs. It can happen to all of us.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. All right, let's move on to the next. And this one I have a video of because I just want to see and show people what we've seen with, O'Neal Cruz, dude. And I mean, let me know what you think, dude. Like when he misses the ball out here in center field and he doesn't go after the ball, when we know when you're a kid, you're supposed to chase everything, right? And you're supposed to hustle everything right off the box when you hit a ball. Right here, did you saw that he didn't even go after the ball after he missed it in center field. He didn't hustle on to first base after he hit it for a double play. And this is where I feel like 162 games it's a lot. And Tony might correct me here because I remember I had that argument with him because he said that 162 games were a lot. And I was on the other way. I was on the fence saying, no, 162 games are fine. They should be playing every day and this and that. Well, I changed my mind. I do see the difference because of the way that baseball is being played now as opposed to but then. Like I feel like back then there was times that you could rest during the game. There was times that you can relax because there was in time. Now it's timed. Now you have to be moving every 15 seconds before that first pitch is thrown to you, right? So it's just moving along a little bit faster. These players are getting adjusted to it. And I just feel like maybe those plays right there for me, I think he's just a little bit tired. And everybody's saying, of course, he should be hustling off the box and he should be hustling after the ball after he misses this. Like, do you agree with that, or do you have another?
I mean, I think we could all agree as fans that he has to hustle more. As a baseball player, you have to put it in your 110% at all times. But baseball's like you said, it's a tough sport. It's a long season, 162 games. These guys are burnt out, and that's why I think more players deserve to have more time off. And they need to expand these rosters possibly because they definitely have to play a lot of baseball, man. And this hot summer weather, it's catching up. It's catching up to a lot of baseball teams these days, man. But if you talk to me, O'Neal Cruz puts in the work all the time. He's a great player. Just today he hit 2 bombs and was a difference maker in sweeping the New York Mets over the weekend in Pittsburgh. He shows time and time again that he's one of those special players in the game. And yes, he lacked hustle the other day, and Dom Kelly benched him right after. He said, we're not allowing this to happen. He was the old school traditional way, but O'Neal Cruz has every right to be tired. I mean, he's always putting the team offensively in his back, and nobody else seems to be stepping up. So if you ask me, this Pirates team just needs to find more support, and Dom Kelly's here trying to prove a point. Like, hey, man, nobody hustles, you're not going to come up to play. And he's just doing his job, but at the same time, O'Neal Cruz is burnt out, and he's every day playing in and out and trying his best to take this team over the hump, and they just can't win. And I think it's just frustrating that they're tired and they're trying to find ways to win, and it's just not happening.
True. You think Don Kelly was more like, let me establish this right now and sit him down after he did that play, after he hit into a double play? Or was it more like, you know what? No, this is not happening. You need to hustle every day. We need to get this going.
Yeah. I mean, Dom Kelly is the interim manager right now. He's coming in after Derek Shelton got fired during the season. And I think he's trying to prove a point, like, hey, I'm not allowing this to happen going forward. Anybody else does that, you're getting bench. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
You don't hustle, bench it is. And, at the end of the day, this Pirates team has a lot of work to go going forward. They're going to probably be sellers over the deadline, and they're going to have a lot of fresh faces coming into this clubhouse, and they're trying to prove a point. set a standard and the way you have to play baseball in Pirates organization. And I mean, in recent passing of Dave Parker, you may have to watch his highlights because they need to find some type of inspiration out there
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh.
yeah, that's true, man. I just feel like maybe there's other players that are doing the same thing. It's just they're not as new to the game because I don't think O'Neal Cruz is that young into the game. I mean, he's been here 4 years now, so I just feel like maybe he is a little bit tired. I don't know. And let's be serious here. Not every player hustles every game. There's no way that happens, dude. Like if there's a player that does that, like I want to know what he does and what type of steroids does he take because I'll be sore after the first week of playing baseball, dude.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah,
these guys are day in, day out, flying out. Like these guys are superhuman, and I just honestly feel like, I mean, cut them a break, give them a break, dude, give them a break. All right,
for sure, man.
let's go to the next topic, dude, and
All
the
right, all right.
tensions between teams, dude. It's been happening for the last 2 weeks. I guess the Dodgers are the first one that started with the Padres, and then today the Marlins and the D-backs. What happened there?
Well, we had an incident today. The Miami Marlins and the D-backs had another benches clear incident today. It looks like Jesus Sanchez, a Marlins fielder, got into with the Diamondbacks catcher Jose Herrera. I have never seen this guy play. Obviously, if you guys know, Gabby Moreno's currently in the IO.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they had an altercation. They were talking back to one another. Benches cleared, but no punches got thrown. And this is what's going on in the game of baseball for the past 2 weeks. There's just been a lot of tension between these teams.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, ever since the Dodger-Padres series, things got heated between a lot of division rivals.
Yeah.
And we had an incident this week where the Guardians and the Blue Jays went at it too, hitting each other, hitting batters when they're not supposed to. They hit Vladdy Guerrero, and he went out the game with a bone bruise. And then, Jose Ramirez getting hit too. And it's like, this is not looking good because I feel like these players are just getting hurt now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the season's long, but you're hurting these top talent players like Vladdy and Jose Ramirez for what? Like, what is the argument about? Like, this is stupid. Just get over it, move on, throw a strike, and that's it. I mean, you're just clearing benches for what? For no reason. No punches are being thrown. Yes, you're frustrated, you're mad. You need to just get over it and grow up. And it's just funny to me because I don't like, man, is this hot summer weather has these guys all upset these days, man? It's hot, they're cranky, they just want to go home. And I think Snap is throwing it out. Yeah, so weather warms up, tempers heat up, and I totally agree, man. It's like these guys are ready to fight. They're watching a lot of UFC. I'm not sure what's going on. It all started with the Dodgers and Padres, right? I mean, You had the whole Fernando Tatis incident, Dave Roberts getting thrown out, Mike Schilt being upset. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, is this good for the game of baseball, having all these benches cleared?
It is. I think it is.
Really?
It's really good. Why? Because baseball needs that passion and needs that, I mean, a lot of people already say all they do is stand on the outfield. They don't do anything. They just run to first base. They're all fat. They don't do anything. Like, dude, you need to see the game of baseball to understand why is it so, hard to play it. Everybody that's in that game is trying to get to first base, second base, make the play, throw a pitch, or, like trying to have their best players play. Now, when you're out there and you hit one of their best players, you're not going to stay quiet if you're on the opposite team. If you're on the opposite team and they hit Jose Ramirez, of course I'm going to come back and hit Vladdy, dude. I'm going to do it. That's what happened with the Padres. They hit Tatis. They went after the big main show, which was Shohei Ohtani, right? So that back and forward makes it interesting for baseball. That's old school baseball, dude. That's the way baseball was played back in the days. Yeah, you take the hit, you go to first base. If you want to, talk crap and everything, clear the benches, but let's throw some punches and let's make it look like hockey out there, dude. Let's make it look interesting.
Question. I just want to ask you, okay, so what if one of these star players goes down based on a hit by pitch? Would you
It happened. It has happened. Everybody was saying, oh, Tatis got hit in his hand. If you really look at the video, he got hit in the palm. We have a lot of fat in our palm. I'm not saying I'm going to get hit by 100-mile-per-hour fastball and I'm not going to get anything broken there. But, Machado came out and said, oh, the Dodgers better light a candle. Like, what the hell is that? Like you're sparking it up. You're getting fans into it. And how many people are waiting for that series to start again because of what happened in the last one, right? So now you're looking at other players that are getting into it, like the Marlins, for instance. You said the D-backs and Marlins got into it today. There's another team that they got into it this past week. It's with the Giants.
Yes.
So once they face again, is it going to happen again? You're interested in these things because you're like, oh, did they calm it already? Did they already settle it down? Or are they going to continue to do it? And I'm hoping they continue to do it, dude, because this is baseball, dude. This is what baseball was back in the 70s, 60s, 50s. We didn't get that much in the 80s, and we didn't get to experience because we weren't even alive then, but now, like, we get to experience this. We get to experience records being broken. We get to see records being made, and this is just another, cherry on top to see baseball, dude. Because baseball, they say, is not violent, but this is the violent part about it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, most of these benches clear have the reason there's been a lot of tensions is a lot of batters have been crowding the plates. A lot of pitchers are being upset about it, so they've been pitching inside, like trying to back up the batters. And it's been funny to see how these batters are really upset. They're being really sensitive. Has Sagneto incident with Hunter Brown telling them, "Hey, you hit me a year ago, or you hit me again." We have a lot of scenarios. Who are you with the batter or with the pitcher? I mean, yes, the batters are crowding the plate. Who's right? Who's wrong? Is it the pitcher's fault that's pitching them inside?
It's just the intensity of the game, dude. Like Tony said, we've played together. I've done it. If they've hit one of my players and I'm pitching, I'm gonna go after one of their players. Why? Because that's just the part of the game, dude. That's just the way it is. You can tell when someone's not throwing at him and he gets hit, and you're like, okay, it happened mistakenly. But there's times that you're like, nah, man, that wasn't that. You went after our best player, like, and you've been throwing inside all game to him. Like, no, you're trying to get him. So this is what we're going to do. We're tired of it. If you guys want to squash it, good. If you guys don't, let's keep going. We'll keep hitting players. And, if someone gets injured, that's on them, right?
Wow. I'm really shocked that you said you would do it, Carlos. I didn't expect to see you that type of guy. Just saying.
It's intense, dude. You see me out in the field, I turn into a different person, I think.
Really?
I talk baseball. Like, I start yelling out there. I start, I mean, I don't know. To me, I feel
you have
so
a different
comfortable
personality. You have a different personality in the baseball field.
No, I just become a gamer, dude. I feel like I become a gamer. I just become a person that, like, I feel comfortable. I feel confident out there that I can do whatever I need to do to make my team win. That's how I feel. So when I feel that way, I feel like I'm gonna do anything to protect my guys, even if I'm playing out on the field. If I'm not pitching, I just feel like I need to do that. I just have to, dude. Like, I don't know, man. It's different. And for me, that the field is where I feel super confident, man. Confident as hell.
Okay, so. Okay. We got the chat saying that you're a beast on the field. Okay. I mean,
used to.
I've yet to see you play, Carlos. I think I have to stop by one of your baseball games, but you don't play anymore. What's going on?
I don't play anymore, dude. I just too sore for 3-4 days. I can't do that anymore. No. I miss it. I do miss it, but I rather have my son or my kids, experience that, and hopefully, by me telling them what the field represented for me, they can go ahead and play it out there and make it come true for me. So that's how I feel. So
yeah. I totally agree with you there, but you also have to show them how it's done. You got to show, like, hey, man, this is how your dad plays the game.
Yeah, too late. I just can't do it anymore. The last game I went to, I didn't make no errors, but I kept falling. After I threw it to first, and I was only playing second base. So I just felt like, nah, man, I can't be doing that anymore. Like, it's not for me anymore. Like, I just feel like that's it. I got to stop. Yeah, I got to stop.
Sounds good, man. But yeah, I can't believe that you're a guy that will start problems too, Carlos. That's a funny one to me to know. Shocked. Don't see you being that type of guy. But this is great. Like, you're right. It's great for the game of baseball. A lot of benches clear, but we have to see a couple punches. I'm just saying, it's just a waste of time throwing all these benches clearing and not seeing no action. That Dodger pod is probably close. And I'm just saying, it's bowling up. And the next series, get ready. Because when they go to San Diego, there's going to be some huge tensions there for sure. Between the fans and the players.
That's true. That's true. And you asked me, like, it sucks that these top players, if one of them gets injured, it'll really suck, right? It's just the other fan base is going to be mad. Whatever fan base the player belongs to, the fan base is going to be mad. But they need to understand as well, as part of the game, this is how the game was played, and it's played for a long ass time. It's just continuing, and this is how the rivalries start, and this is one of the questions I'm going to ask. Hopefully I get, inspired to ask these fans, like, is the Padre Dodger rivalry. Who are you thinking about, or who are you checking scores of if your team is winning? Are you going to check the Padres if they're winning? Because there's a lot of Dodger fans that do that, and they say it's not a rivalry, but they're going to check their score and say, "Oh, the Padres are losing." Like, who cares, dude? They're 7 games behind. Like, why are you checking their freaking score? And if
Yeah.
they say that, dude, it's a rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. I mean, they're probably not checking as much right now because obviously it's a 7-game lead over the division. But a couple weeks ago, it was just 1.5 games back, and
Yeah,
you were definitely checking,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
until the Dodgers faced the Padres recently. They took 3 out of the 4 from them, right? If I'm not mistaken, and
3 out of 4.
they got a pretty good lead, pretty good cushion, and the Dodgers haven't looked back, and they just continue to have success right now, finding ways to win, scrappy wins, but they're winning.
They're
And I
winning.
feel like the Dodger fans kind of backed off now. They're like, okay, we possibly did secure first place now. But it wasn't
Yeah.
looking like that back in May.
Nah.
And you were definitely checking what the Padres and Giants were doing. So if you ask me, there's still a rivalry with both teams. I mean, one is the San Diego team that it's a new rivalry that has just been formed, a team that doesn't like each other. The fans are into it when they play each other. And I mean, the Padres fans, they want to beat the Dodgers so badly. I don't blame them. They're tired of seeing themselves see the Dodgers win every single year.
Dude, but you got to check their videos. Every video they mention the Dodgers. There's not one video that all these content creators from San Diego or Padre fans, they don't take the Dodgers name out of their mouth. They're if the owner, in order for them to succeed, and it sucks, but that's just the way they're doing it. They have to put the Dodgers name in there so people can interact and start making videos of your team winning against other teams, dude. That's fine. Like Tony's
Yeah.
saying that he doesn't check anybody's scores but the Dodgers. I don't believe that, Tony. You'd be checking other stuff too, man.
I mean, you're totally right. And that's the only way their videos probably going to get a lot of views, a lot of traction, and be in the algorithm. Obviously, if you talk about Dodgers and Padres, it's going to gain a lot of traction. And the moment you talk about a Padres Guardian, it's not going to get the same viewers. I mean, the Reds obviously walked out the Padres today. Nobody cares. And somehow Cincinnati is just a small market team. And that was a big win for the Reds today.
Yeah.
I mean, that it made them closer to, obviously they're in the playoff mix, but there's a tough battle in the NL Central, but they're just the viewership, when you have the Dodgers and Padres in your mouth or in your videos, it's just going to blow up for sure.
Yeah. So let me ask you, since we're talking about these little rivalries and hitting players and stuff like that, the Angels and the Astros had one too. That was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we have to have Sack Neto, Hunter Brown incident. I mean, Sack Neto got hit inside. This is the second time. He got hit last year. He got hit this year. There was a whole big interaction there. Hunter Brown wasn't too happy. He was saying, what did I do? I'm just pitching inside like I'm supposed to. You're the one that's crowding the plate. It's kind of hard to see. I mean, a lot of people call Sack Neto soft for getting mad, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of see both sides of the picture. I mean, I don't want to be getting hit.
No.
And if I'm the pitcher, I didn't mean to hit you. So it's one of those where like Hunter Brown is having a great season. And I promise you this, I don't think he was going for Sack Neto's arms and try to hit him. I think that's just how he pitches. He's trying to back off these batters, and that's trying to make sure he has that dominance in the pitching mound. And unfortunately, Sack Neto got hit. He'll be fine. I mean, he's dealing with some other injury now, but I think the Angels overreacted there a little bit, but it's okay. It's part of the game. They were frustrated, and they have
think so though? I don't think they overreacted at all, because I feel like this has been happening for the past 3 years where they've been going at it ever since Ohtani was with the Angels.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. This is a rivalry.
It sure is. And there's always been that tension. Obviously, the Astros have been the division winners for the past decade. And I think all these teams here in the AL West want to take them down. And seeing Hunter Brown, just trying to humiliate them like that, it's not going to happen. It's not going to slide on them. So I feel like Sack Neto was like ready to get it going. And I mean, there's a bunch of young studs ready to fight with a lot of speed. So that would have been exciting to see for sure. I mean, the Angels already known to have a big fight with the Mariners 3 years ago. And that was a big one. Remember when Tony and Trout were just like, what's going on? And that was on a Sunday night. That was a Sunday morning. That was pretty interesting. But baseball is great. And the more they fight, the better it is for us fans.
Yes, it is. It is. I just want to say one more thing, though. Hunter Brown did say dropped a lot of F-bombs. You were a little too nice on translating that. He did drop a bunch of F-bombs.
Exactly, man. These freaking Astros just continue to win. They got rid of Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, and Jordan Alvarez has been in the IL for most of the season. And you mean to tell me they're still in first place? And it's like, it's insane how they continue to develop players. They knew they were not going to be able to play Tucker. So I think it's frustrating for us fans and then the players as well. Seeing the Astros still dominate the game of baseball is frustrating. It really is.
Ernie, you got a question here. Did C's mean to hit Pages? Because I feel like Pages overreacted.
I don't think Dylan Cease meant to hit him either. And I think Pages overreacted as well. And I mean, Mike Show had that incident where he does say, "Who the heck you think you are?" And
World Series champion, man. What the
and then Andy Pages responded. Andy Pages did his best impersonation of like, "This is who I am.
Yeah,
I'm a big, I make a big impact in this Dodgers lineup, even though you don't think about it, because Pages is not supposed to be that star player, and somehow he's been delivering for the Dodgers this past couple months."
That's so true. But let me go back to that then, because when you have a hot hitter like Pages is, and he's been playing really good, which that's why he's part of that All-Star ballot, right? So he's been playing really good. Now, when you look at it as a fan and you're saying, oh, well, he's not a big player, but he's really hot, and one of the pitchers go after him, he's going to take it personal because he is hot and he does feel it. He's in with it. He's feeling, great. So that's why he probably felt that way. That's why he felt like they were throwing at him. It might not have been that, but what if it was, what if it did have that bad intent to try to cool him down this series? The way we're going to stop the Dodgers is by cooling Pages down, because he went off, dude, all that series, right? He did. So, I mean, or maybe, they woke in a freaking beast.
They definitely did.
Yeah,
they definitely did, because Pages was the difference maker of that series. And I know Mike Show probably regrets saying what he said.
Yeah, that's true. And Snap did say that Tatis flop. He said he's the LeBron of baseball. I don't know. You think so?
I don't know. I could think of some other guys, but
you can think of some other guys.
Yeah, definitely. There's some other guys that are more drama queens. Come on, man. It's just Tatis. He's just an interesting character. Let's just put it that way.
He is. All right, let's move on, man.
He shows up emotion sometimes, but for that Dodger series, he was a bit quiet, which was kind of shocking.
True. All right, if you guys haven't hit that like, we would appreciate it if you hit that like. We really want to grow in this channel. We're trying to figure out how to get on TikTok live with both of us on there. I know I can get on there by myself, but that's not cool. I want to do it together so people can know who we are and we can grow this channel even more than what we're doing now. And this is what we do. We get on live. We see the messages. If you guys have good messages, put them on there. And this is what we talk about. I don't think we've come to a point where anybody has put a question up there and we've been stuck. Hopefully not. If we do get stuck, damn, that's going to be the first. But I want you guys to test us. I mean, we're looking at baseball 24/7. We even dream baseball and people hate us for it. But yeah, all right, let's move on, dude. And let's get into the All-Star ballot. And a lot of people agree with what the All-Star ballot is and what it's showing. Let me go ahead and post it up here so we can see. Let's start with the AL, dude. Do you agree with all these guys that are in the final ballot?
This one's a bit interesting. I guess the second baseman is a little interesting for me. First base, and then the outfield. And obviously that DH is just so weak.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, Ryan O'Hearn is gonna get the answer there for the DH for the American League, but obviously this roster is not looking too great. I mean, we have Alex Berman that's out in the IL, so you automatically have to put Jose Ramirez, Jacob Wilson, and Bobby Witt debate there.
We talked about this.
I can't believe Jacob Wilson is still leading. Obviously, he's having a better season, but Bobby Witt's still the overall better player right now. I mean, he did finish second in the AL MVP voting last year, and it's hard not for me to not put Bobby Witt over Jacob Wilson. It has to happen. I'm sorry.
So before you continue, let me stop you right there. So we're going by stats from last year or stats this year?
Well, it's a popularity contest, right? At the end of the day, it's fans voting. So I think it has to be 50-50, his stats and 50% of popularity. And I feel like right now Bobby Witt's still more popular than Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, he is. He's one of the top shortstops right now. So
I feel like Jacob Wilson has not given me enough, though. I still need to see the second half of a season from him. He's still a rookie. Like, has he proven himself yet? Like, I mean, yeah, he's off to the greatest hot start.
Yeah.
Can he continue this in the hottest months of July, August, and September?
When dude, batting 340 is not enough. Like to a 280 hitter, 285 hitter is not enough. Yesterday on Saturday, or no, sorry, Friday, I was telling my son, look, check up Bobby Witt Jr. He's the best shortstop that you're gonna see right now. As soon as I said that, he made an error. And I'm like, shit, it happens. It's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen because not everybody's perfect. But when you look at Wilson, Jacob Wilson, dude, he's been on it. And he's been a hard strikeout. I agree, both of them being there. But who gets the start for me is going to be Jacob Wilson. And I said it the last time we were back and forward. I feel like we're going back and forward with this one again.
Yeah, I mean,
both of them are good shortstops.
Yeah, and totally right. But I always have to think about Bobby Witt and the difference. He's like does more for his team than Jacob Wilson does right now.
Yeah. All right. Before we can continue on with all this, do you think that All-Star should mean more than what it's meaning now? It used to mean that whoever won the All-Star game was going to be the home team. Do you think they should bring that back? Maybe we'll have more arguments like we have right now and more points to why we have a player play than just, a popularity contest.
Yeah, I mean, I know it sucks because I used to see a lot of fans upset about that rule, right?
Yeah.
10 years ago, we had this rule with whoever won the All-Star game had home field advantage for the World Series. It was great. It definitely brought the intensity of the game to another level. But at the same time, there was a lot of times where like certain leagues were better than the others by a mile. And this is one of them right now, right? Like if you were to make this case right now, National League automatically wins if you look at the rosters. So it would hurt the AL teams and you would think like this is not good. But now like I feel like the only way you can make it competitive is by giving them bigger bonuses. Money talks. And if you tell me like, hey, we'll give you a big bonus if the team that wins and a trip to wherever in the offseason. I don't know. You name it. You need to convince these players to play harder. And I'm sorry, but for the home field advantage, I think that's crap. They shouldn't bring it back. I mean, it was cool when it happened, but there's always been that disparity between both leagues. And I feel like it's not fair for your team to not get home field advantage, even though you have a better record.
That's true. So maybe there should be something, like you said, another incentive point into this, because now then if you start talking about the home field advantage in a World Series, I'm just going to put it out there right now. Would you rather want Jacob Wilson batting at 350 or would you want Bobby Witt Jr. batting 285? Now you start thinking about those little things because now you want the best player out there. The best player so far is stat wise Jacob Wilson, right?
Right.
So I understand where you're at. I understand completely. Like Bobby Witt Jr. for me, he's the best shortstop out there. Don't get me wrong, but Jacob Wilson is deserving of being in that ballot. Definitely, both of them are. But to me, right now, that starter should be Jacob Wilson. So
all right, let's bring up another case. This first baseman, I can't believe Paul Goldschmidt is in the mix. Vladimir Guerrero had an okay season. He did get paid his money. But we got to mention a guy that it's not in the list, and that's Jonathan Aranda from the Tampa Bay Rays. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a guy that's been playing great. He's also another rookie. I'm not asking him to be a starter, but I'm asking him to be at least in the top finalists. And this is where I'm upset because this is where these popularity votes suck because they ruined the All-Star game. You get guys like Jake Jackson Holiday that's in the mix, and I don't think he's that deserving to be in the finalists neither. No. So, I mean, it sucks. There's other guys that should be here. And that Jonathan Aranda's one. Ben Rice shouldn't even be in that call. I mean, I don't even know why he's there. Obviously, you have to have a finalist, but he's not going to be he shouldn't even be an all-star. Then you have Javi Baez, which has had a resurgence, but I'm not sure if he's an all-star either.
He's a comeback player, dude. He's batting 302 right now.
I get it, but I feel like Terry Carpenter is having a better year than him.
Okay, so let's go Javi Baez and Mike Trout. You're an Angels fan. I know you want Mike Trout to go there, but has he been performing up to what we normally see him?
No, not at all. Mike Trout is not performing at the level we've seen him in the past. Obviously, this is what I mean. It's a popularity contest, and he's there for that reason. He's been a star player for the past decade, a future Hall of Famer, and this is why he's in the mix. But overall, performance-wise, he's there because of his popularity. And this is where I feel like Bobby Witt should be popular over Jacob Wilson, but the fans for some reason are voting Jacob Wilson and they like him more.
I like him. What about Bregman? He's not even playing. Why is he on the ballot? Is that fair?
It's not fair, but again, popularity. So how should this work going forward? I mean, obviously popularity contest plays into account. And at the end of the day, the managers now choose the reserves after.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think the manager should have the option of choosing between these two options himself?
Dude, it's just it becomes where a lot of people start talking about it. And this is where I started seeing everybody on social media. This is a vote, a fan vote. They want to see their favorite players play in the All-Star game, not see the best players play in the All-Star game. Their favorite players. Now, that's a different change of sentence when you use it that way. When you say favorite players, if I have a favorite player like Mike Trout, they're gonna vote for him. Bregman, Alex Bregman, I'm gonna vote for him. If I'm a Dodger fan, I'm gonna vote all my Dodgers in there. As you can see in the freaking list here, it's like it's gonna be the Dodgers against the AL, pretty much. So
Yes.
this is where the popularity, like you said, and I just don't like that, dude. I want to see the best players of 2025 battle it out in that field. When do
Yes.
you get to see that? You don't ever get to see. You got to see that in the 80s because there was no fan voting back then. You got to see that in the 70s. There was no fan voting. Pete Rose used to take out catchers going into home plate. If you don't remember, like he used to go out all out. If he needed to pop someone at home plate, he's gonna do it so he can score. Like,
Yeah,
right?
I totally agree. I feel like as a committee, the managers should have the option of choosing the best players to represent the best players for the AL and the NL. Yes, the popular vote counts. You should give the option of fans voting. But at the end of the day, I feel like the managers should make the final decision and bring the best talent that possible, not just a popularity contest, because every fan's going to vote for certain players they like. And just
Mm-hmm.
because you're in a bigger market, it's going to benefit that player.
True.
I mean, we're in this incident right now. We have a lot of Dodger players in this mix, and you cannot tell me that Max Muncy should be the finalist in this list for third base.
There's other
And
third basemen.
to
He
Oscar
has got
Hernandez,
hot. He did get hot, but
I mean,
not
he
from
has
not from the beginning of the season.
not at all, right? And then
Yeah.
we have, Mookie Betts should be there. Tommy Edman, should he be there? I mean, he's been also lingering with the injury, hasn't been the same since he's came back. But this is what I mean, man. James Wood is another outfielder that's not in the
He's
mix.
not
Is
on there.
having a greater year than most of those outfielders right now. He's been a top hitter for this game of baseball, and it's just not being recognized. And that's where it's my frustration as a fan, a guy that knows ball, just me and you. A lot of fat people know ball, but then you have a bunch of kiddos just voting, not knowing really baseball.
Not really. And then did you hear about James Wood today? He got walked 4 times. It hasn't happened since the Barry Bonds era. And it happened with the Angels, dude.
Dude,
happened with the Angels.
That guy's a big presence in that play. He's scary to face, man. Every time he crowds that play, he looks like he's about to hit it out. Every time I watch a highlight of him, that thing's going out the park. This is interesting nationally, though. It's really stacked. It's definitely deep. I think we could both agree that Freddie Freeman should get the edge there in first base. Ketel Marte in second. I think short, we could both agree that Lindor deserves it over Mookie. Mm-hmm. Third base, Manny Machado. Catcher, Will Smith. And this is where it gets interesting in the outfield. I think we all could agree that PCA, Cal Tucker, for me, and Juan Soto should be the 3 of those finalists. Now, I could make a strong case for James Wood, right?
Yeah.
But those are my 3, PCA, Cal Tucker, and Juan Soto. Just because Juan Soto obviously is having a slow start to the year, but he has hit 10 home runs in the month of June. And I think that's still pretty impressive. And I think he's just going to get it going again. Going forward.
I would prefer James Wood over Juan Soto, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
That's totally.
Yeah.
You can make every case for that. And I think a lot of people would agree with you. But Juan Soto has that popularity and that presence right now. And I think James Wood is going to be that guy in the future. But for now, he has to sit the bench, unfortunately. But he's going to get his moment down the road.
All right. And now let me ask you this: is Shohei Ohtani going to participate in pitching in that All-Star game? Since he is the DH, and we don't see him on here because he already going to be the DH. He rates the most votes in the NL.
That would be special. And I think for the game of baseball, it would be great if he pitched at least 1 inning.
That would be great, right?
But knowing Dave Roberts and the way they're being so cautious these days, I don't see it happening. I think they're going to back off and be like, we have other pitchers that could take over too. There's just a lot of great arms like Paul Skeens. No need to have Ohtani there, but this would be the game so much better. Imagine bringing the 9th inning and Ohtani closing the game for the National League. This is what baseball needs, and this is what we've been asking for forever. Who cares what's about the game about? Just put him out there, show why he's that great of a player. We want to see another Ohtani have to close out Mike Trout. You name it, all these top players like Jose Ramirez, and we want to see that. And this is where I think the MLB fails us sometimes. They're too cautious, they're too careful. And if you tell these players they just want to play, they don't care. They want to show their talents. But I got to ask you this. Who you have winning this All-Star game? We have the National League with a top talented team or the American League? That
dude.
doesn't look too strong.
Dude, I've always said I'm an NL guy, and I've always said I'm going for the NL. This year
Okay.
is it's not different. I do feel confident this year. Every year I go into the NL and be like, really? We don't have a good team.
Oh, in the past, NL wasn't that great, but this
No.
time around, this decade, it's changed. The National League is definitely the stronger team, and I can see why you're picking the National League. But let me tell you why I'm an AL guy, and I've always rooted for the AL. So let me tell you, Reese, 5 pitchers that are the main reason why the AL is going to win this year. And a
Okay.
lot of people are, obviously the National League is a favorite right now, but the AL is deep in pitching, and a lot of people's not recognizing that. We have the AL Cy Young starting for us, Tarek Skubal, who just
Mhm.
had a great performance today of 13 strikeouts, showing why he's the best pitcher in baseball.
1 hit, 7 innings, dude. Oh my god.
He continues to impress every outing. We
Yeah.
have Garrett Crochet, a lefty that just came from San Diego to Boston, has been lights out as well,
Mhm.
killing it. We have Hunter Brown, who has an electrifying fastball. He's pitching under 2 ERA right now. He's lights out. And
Dropping a
then
lot of F-bombs.
man, we have Crochet, Hunter Brown, Tarek Skubal, Max Fried from the Yankees that we got from the
Mhm.
National League as well. And
Yeah,
Max Fried has been a Cy Young candidate as well. And
true.
he has been lights out, and it's been the best pickup the Yankees could have ever thought. And
That's
there
true.
is one more pitcher that I can't think of right now. And I'm just like, I'm really frustrated because there's another guy out there. And
Look at the Rays, dude. The Rays have a bunch of pitching. A bunch of pitching. So Aranda's not going to be making the team unless he takes up a spot like a Bregman, because Bregman's not going to go play. So maybe the coach or the manager will pick him up because he's deserving of it. But because you need to have other Rays in there, is he even going to make the cut? I don't know. So maybe these pitchers. There's a lot of pitchers with the Rays, dude. Right?
Yeah, I mean the Rays are another option, but let me throw you one more arm that I totally forgot, and he's back to his old form. He's one of the most nastiest pitchers in the game of baseball, Jacob deGrom.
Oh
So
damn! Yeah, I forgot
if
about
you
him.
if you give me those 5 pitchers and they pitch all 2 innings, I'm sorry, I don't need nobody else coming to close out that game. You have Hunter Brown, Jacob deGrom, Garrett Crochet, Max Fried, and Tarek Skubal, 2 innings each.
Finishes the
Sorry,
game.
National League does not stand a chance.
Damn, that's pretty deep, and that's pretty good. We have to wait and see what happens because this hitting power. Sometimes this pitching will just fail and not let it go all the way. So let's see what's going on right here. Oh, Jamal, how's it going, Jamal? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Thanks. This is my old background, dude.
Yeah,
I
Carlos, it
came
looks
back
like
to
you're
the
somewhere new today.
this is my old background. This is where I started my way back in 2020. This is when the first background I had. I'm back to where I was. I guess I cleaned everything out, so we're back over here. But yeah, man, throw some stuff at us, Jamal. Like, it's good to have you on here. Like, we haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, dude, I do agree that the pitching is really good for the AL. I just feel like maybe it's going to be a good game. I just feel like it needs to be more intense. Hopefully it is. And you know what? Do you watch the All-Star game at all?
Well, I do. I mean, just
You
like
do?
every fan, we're still baseball fans. We care about the game. We want to see these star players, and it's just hard to know that they're not really trying that hard. They're just having a great time. But that's why I'm saying you have to incentivize these guys. You have to give them more money and give them some trips to go out in the off season. But if you're in the chat listening, thank you for tuning in and commenting and keeping it active. We have a question for you guys. Who do you guys have winning this All-Star game, the American League or the National League? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
We got Snap saying bring back the Giants toilet seat. How about
I
a
do have
Padres
it.
one this time? Let's do a Padres one this year, then Carlos.
Padres,
Bring
a
the
Padres
Padres
one.
toilet seat.
Okay, I'll put
Come
it
on,
next
man.
to the.
That's the newest rivalry in baseball. We need
I'll
to
put
see
it
that
next to
one.
the championship trophy right here. I'll put the toilet seat somewhere around here with the. You want the Padres one or the
Yes.
Giants or both of them? Why not? I'll put both of them on there.
Yeah, why not? Bring it out.
I'll go ahead and do that, dude. All right. We still got 5 minutes and there's still a lot to talk about. I just want to ask you this. Are the Angels going to sell even though they're 1 game behind? Since you're an Angel fan, let us know what you think.
Oh, man.
Putting you on the spot.
Well, we got a couple weeks before the trade deadline comes around, right? Right now, we're playing 500 ball. We're 1 game under 500. We're 2 games behind the wild card. This is a chance the Angels have to finally make some moves, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like they're definitely going to stay but they're not trading nobody right now. I think they want to compete, and I think Artie Moreno's desperate to make the playoffs, man. It's been 10 seasons, Carlos. As an Angel fan, we're ready.
Okay.
Angel fans have been desperate to be there. We've stood through a lot of bad years recently, and I think it's time if we just stay pat and try to make a noise with this roster we have right now, because somehow they're competing and playing really great baseball.
Yeah, definitely. Jamal just said NL pitching is going to be tough to beat. I'm going NL 8-6. He's even
Oh,
giving us a score, dude. Oh
all
man,
right, Jamal.
that's you're
I'm giving
ready,
you.
Jamal.
I'm just gonna tell you guys. I'm saying the American League's gonna win this year. We got the 5 best pitchers that you could bring in the game of baseball right now. You cannot stop Crochet. You cannot stop Scooble. You cannot stop Jacob deGrom, and you're not stopping Max Fried either. Oh man, I can just keep going. There's a lot of guys out there, man. They're ready to win, and it's gonna be a lot of great players going. I mean, Shohei is a difference maker. Maybe he could take one of those 5 guys out, right? Hunter
Dude,
Brown.
yeah, it's just the lineup is going to be so stacked that I can't wait to see what the lineup is out there. We still don't have the final votes. Once we get it, and once we get to see what starters are going to be there, I know for sure Paul Skeens is going to open the game. There's no other pitcher that I can see the NL opening with. Maybe there is. It's just I feel Paul Skeens is the top of his game right now. He's really good, dude. So once we get that, we'll talk about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And I think we've been having these battles back and forth, Ernie. I love them because it's all a baseball debate.
You got the Yamamoto coming out. I mean, you got either Michael King was supposed to be there, but unfortunately he got hurt. So I'm not sure he'll be ready. There is a lot of top talent in the National League as well. We got to recognize that. Guys are just performing at high levels this year. I just want to ask you one question. What the heck is going on with the Mets recently? Are you starting to worry?
For me, man, dude, you put me on the spot in that one.
I mean, you need to know. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's not looking good. They had a team meeting over the weekend. They got swept by the Pirates. They split a series with the Braves last week, and then they got swept.
And they sent down Alvarez, the catcher. They sent him down after he said in the season that they had the best lineup in the NL, and now they don't. So I don't know what's going on.
Good batter either. I mean, second season, batting 220, 6 home runs. That guy lost his magic, and he just doesn't have the pop anymore. And it's a huge concern. They have a lot of pitching injuries as well. Griffin Canning went out with an Achilles injury. Kodai Senga is dealing with a hamstring. They're been waiting for Chaminade to come back. He just took a cortisone shot. Man, so this second half, Mets better step it up, or else that Philly team is going to take the division, and the Mets could potentially lose out on the wild card because that wild card is getting hot as well. We got the Brewers, Cardinals, Padres, and Giants all in the mix, and these teams are looking great right now. And I mean, there's still a lot of baseball definitely to be played, but it's definitely concerning.
Logan, how's it going, dude? My bad. Hey, coach, is Logan. Long time no see. No, yes, long time no see. Hey, asking me a question, man, before we get off. We got 3 minutes here. Ask a baseball question, and we'll answer it for you, Logan. Dude, I don't think the Padre fans should be concerned. I mean, Mets fans should be concerned because remember last year, they went into the second half not being in the playoff mix, and then all of a sudden they got hot. They went into the playoffs hot, and they faced the Dodgers, and they gave the Dodgers a little bit of run for their money, right? So I think the Mets are okay. They're going to make a big trade. They're going to try to get everything going, and they're going to be all right, I think. Are they going to win the division? Possibly, because they're only 1 game and a half. They've been playing horrible, but the whole NL East hasn't been playing all that great either. So, if the Phillies were taking off with the division, then I'll say different. But no one's taking off on the division. No, so I mean, Mets are lucky, dude. That
the Phillies also been really cold lately.
Yeah.
That Philly lineup is not performing either. So it's all up in the air. There's a lot of game left to play. 2 teams that are both hot and cold sometimes. And like you said, it's June. A lot of these guys are feeling tired. And I think they're just waiting for the All-Star break to research and recharge one more time.
Okay, so Logan is asking what player from the Dodgers will make the All-Star team. So we have how many players?
Oh,
seems
man,
like
it's gonna be a lot.
7 players on the list. Let me go ahead and show you, Logan. So it looks like Freeman is on there. Tommy Edman, that's 2. Betts is 3. Muncy is 4. Will Smith is 5. And then you're looking at Teoscar and Pages, 7 right there. And then you're still talking about Yamamoto. Ohtani. That's possibly like the whole starting lineup right there. So there's other players. There's other players, and that's what, 9 players already? You're talking about the coaching staff too, because the Dodgers won the World Series last year. Dang,
That's a
that's a
lot of
lot.
players.
It's a lot of players, dude. Thanks, Logan. That's a good question, man. So let's put this one back up. What did he say? Mets, we need games and strong. That's best lineup in the NL. Nah, the Dodgers. Yeah, that's what happened.
I mean, definitely. I mean, you're seeing that All-Star game selection, and obviously 9 players just shows you why they're the best team in baseball.
Definitely. All right, we reached that point in time. That's an hour mark. We are the Power Hour. Ernie, do you have any last mentions before we leave?
I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We had a great show today. Thank you for stopping by every Sunday night. We really appreciate talking more baseball with you guys. Hit us up on the social media platforms. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. We love to talk baseball with you guys. And if you guys have fantasy baseball news that you need help with, we're also welcome to help you. Me and Carlos are pretty good at fantasy, right? Snap, just let them know.
Yeah. Snap's not on here anymore. I don't see him, dude. Or is he? Hey, say something. All right, guys, we reached that point in time. I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Ernie Orange. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.